Welcome back to the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2012, live from the Löfbergslilla Arena in Karlstad, Sweden. My name is Logan Gray, and alongside me for the men's semi-final today, I have Sander Rovog.
Good morning, Logan.
I think it's afternoon now, Sander. But anyway, as I said before, the lineup, sorry, the matchup is going to be Norway and the Czech Republic. Going to be playing on sheet D. And Sander, maybe you can introduce the teams.
Yeah, Team Norway here at lead, Håvard Wahl Pettersson. Second, Kristoffer Sa. Third player, Torgen Energård, and skip, Thomas Ulsrud.
And the Czech Republic team, this slightly altered lineup from earlier in the competition. Indrich Kitsberger playing lead, Jakub Baresh playing second, Martin Snitil playing third, and Jiří Snitil skipping. And Norway will be playing the red stones, but they will not have the last stone in the first end. Czech Republic will have the hammer and will be playing the yellow stones. Of course, the Czech Republic get the last stone because they came from the page 1-2 game. So this is Kitsberger's second stone of this first end. It's a nice hit and roll to the wing. Sander, what do you think we can expect to see from these two teams?
I'm obviously hoping for a tight game, but the Czechs weren't really good last night playing Sweden. Didn't seem to have a good game. Hope they'll fire back with a couple more shots. I think I'll favour Norway in this game. Just a bit more experience and should be the better team. But if the Czechs have a good day, I might see them win this semi-final. I think you might expect the Czechs to be a bit defensive, at least to start off with. They gave up a huge 5 to Nicholas Edin last night, so I think they would like to avoid that. Maybe try and keep it tight till the latter stages of the game.
I think the key, Sander, for the Czech Republic is they need to be a little bit more aggressive than they have been, but more importantly, they need to pick the right spots to be aggressive. Felt that last night, at times, they did try to push the button and get some stones in play, but maybe it wasn't the best spot, so it's really key in this game for Jiří Snitil to know when the opportunity has arisen and then take the plunge and try and get something going.
This one's going to be all over the guard. A pretty poor attempt from the Czech second player.
Yeah, Jakub Baresh had a little bit of a disappointing game last night. His first time really getting any ice time at the European Curling Championships, and this will all be a new experience for him. And they'll really need a good performance from Jakub to hang with this Norwegian side, reigning Olympic silver medalists in Vancouver. A really good draw there by Torger Nergård. Stays in front of the tee line. think I'd like to see the guard going back here. Sander, this looks like a little bit of a risk here. If you don't get this right, then you could see Norway starting to close up the scoring area. Looks like a good shot though by Martin Snaetail. Keeps the shooter as well. Sander, what do you think it is in particular that the Norwegians do so well that make them so difficult to beat and so successful at the international level?
Well, they're quite consistent, and usually all four players are pretty much on. You'll never see one of the players have a bad game. Not too often anyway. Good teamwork, good communication. I think it's very easy to see when they're on fire. You just hear them communicating so well and so loud and so much. I haven't really done that so far in this game, so maybe just taking a bit too easy to start off with. Well, especially see second player Kristoffer Sva make a lot of noise if he's focused, especially in the line calls of his own stones. It's going to be pretty intense, but it's looking a bit calm before the storm.
Yeah, both teams seem content just to play a simple first end out here. Yeah, I totally agree though about the Norwegian team. They seem to have a really good understanding of each other as well. They know each other really well, of course, curled for a lot of years, and really shows out there on the ice. Maybe threw that one a fraction soft, and the Super's going hard on this one to get it out, and he can't keep the shooter.
So early chance for the Czechs now to maybe score a 2.
Tak jo. Místa.
Sweeper's pushing really hard at the end, trying to maximize the curl and get it in behind that guard, but can probably still be at least half stone seen from the hack.
Yeah, I think the only problem is the red stones here. They might, this yellow might jam. So I'm going to be a bit careful with that.
Vi prøver fortsatt, da. Pass på å prøve å unngå jammen. Forrige var sneppet løsere.
If he was worried about the jam, he could throw this with a bit of weight and just pick it out.
Yeah. I was kind of expecting to see that, just a thin pick of it with some weight, but still playing the hack, softer weight. This maybe you're trying to get to nose actually. Oh, looking pretty close.
Super shot by Thomas Hulsrud. I think he was trying to stick that on the nose.
I know Jiri needs to try and avoid the jam here. Doesn't want to give up a steal that way. Trying the blank then here. Retain hammer. So last on of the first end. The Czechs just looking to blank this end now.
Yeah, and this one's just going to hang down the centre line and manages to dodge the wide reds. And it will be a blank first end in this 2012 European Curling Championship semi-final. And after one end played, no score.
Jsme nervózní, co ty kameny dřív pouštět, protože tě to svádí si s tím jako hrát a... Tak budeme hrát out ten corner teda. No nebo no, asi jo, jo.
Håvard Vod Pedersen getting the second end underway.
På slutten må vi gå på den her. På toppen av buen nå.
Looking for a tight guard, and that one just rears up in time. Sander, what do you think the Norwegians will be wanting to do in this game against the Czech Republic? What do you think their kind of game plan is to get the mistakes?
I don't think you'll see them be overly aggressive. I think just gonna play the scoreboard. I think try and put a wee bit of pressure on the Czech skip. Try and force them to take that single, and then just get the easy two back. Force take two. You know, that normal curling strategy. Not going to be too fancy, I believe. Obviously, if a 3 or 4 is in play, they'll go for it, but usually don't take too many risks, although that kind of backfired against France two days ago. Had lots of chances to put some real pressure on the skip Thomas Dufour, but kind of playing the scoreboard a bit too much and ended up losing that game in an extra end, I think. So should maybe press on that a wee bit when they have the chance. They tend to be a bit overly cautious at times.
Did you speak to the Norwegians after that game against France, Sander?
Yeah, I spoke to them a little bit, and that was certainly the topic, that they had many chances. Even not the alternate player, Thomas Lövel, came on and said, why couldn't you go here? You could be line 4, you could play the draw, not the hit, and so on. And something they kind of discussed and kind of agreed that you probably should have taken a bit more risks in that game. And there's certainly enough quality and the team to play the more difficult shots.
I totally agree, Sander. Like, especially Thomas Olsrud, he's one of the best exponents in the game of the soft weight shots, the taps, the little touches, the freezes. I couldn't think of too many people you'd rather be throwing those sort of shots in world curling. So maybe Norway just need to play to your strengths a little bit more. And deciding to take a little bit of risk here in the second end. Line 2 against, going for the freeze, but just hanging out there. And Czech Republic will have a chance to hit and lie 3 here.
I think that might be enough to line 3. Or, well, according to Thomas, that yellow is out. So the Czechs only line 2. Going for the soft weight hit here again. Wonder if they're trying to roll in behind the centre guard. You got to be a bit careful. There's a redstone just on the back line there. Could potentially jam on that stone. Let's see. Just going to take off that back one. Does roll a bit too far. And lies in the open for the Czechs.
Czech Republic not interested in going behind that centre guard. It is a Norwegian stone, and they don't really want them running the stone back onto the nose, so they're going to hit and roll to the wing here, try and make a simple 2 on the wings.
You mentioned before the game that you believe the Czechs need to be up at the start of the game, that they're maybe not as good as chasing the game rather than defending a lead. Why is that?
I think they're just better, the defensive game, Sander, and when they were trailing Sweden yesterday right from the start, of course conceding 3 in the first end, they just never really looked like they were going to get anything going. Obviously the Swedes are one of the best front runners in the business, but I just felt that maybe the Czech Republic's team could have done a little bit more to apply some pressure to the Swedes. So I think it's really important in this game that the first score goes to the Czech Republic.
Does that come down to shot making abilities, tactical, or is it motivation?
I don't think motivation's a problem. It's a great opportunity for Czech Republic to take their first international medal at this level. So I don't think that's an issue. It's just I'm not sure exactly why. I think they're just playing a little bit too cautious, maybe not wanting to get beat as heavily as they did in the round robin. They were off very quickly in the round robin. I think they only went 6 ends. So maybe even a little bit scared of the Swedes. So very capable though of beating any of the teams here, this Czech side. Bit of a surprise package really this week. Of course they did make the Page playoffs last year and narrowly missed out on the medals.
Yeah, just losing to Denmark's Erasmus Stjernet in the bronze final after coming through a 4-way tiebreaker in Moscow. So certainly up their game in recent years. It's nice to see that all the effort is rewarded with a playoff spot for the Czechs. Certainly it'd be nice to see them win a medal.
But not at Norway's expense, Sander.
No, bronze medal would be a good start for them.
Yeah, of course. Don't be fooled by Sander's accent, but he's actually Norwegian. He's just spent a little bit too much time with me over the years.
Well, Czechs would be the only team to not win a medal. All the teams are in the playoff stages. Obviously, Norway here. Team also has won the 2 last European curling titles. Moscow last year and then Champri 2 years ago. In that Champri final, they played Rasmus Stjerne. So they had a silver from that year, and the Danes also took the bronze, as mentioned, last year. And Nicholas Edin, also a European champion, winning the title back in 2009 in Aberdeen.
Okay, so I think you'll see a lot of this in this game. Maybe there'll be a centre guard up, and there'll be very much a race between Norway and the Czech Republic to find stones behind the centre guard. So important, these hit and rolls. This is quite a long one, but could very well be the team who plays these hit and rolls better that wins this game. That could make the difference this afternoon.
I think you might have to see the Czechs score here to get in stones to play. I think you won't really see too much action before Norway gets the last on advantage. I think the Czechs are going to be quite happy with blanking ends and can just hope to score easy too, which could easily happen if he makes this roll. So only knows it, and it's Norway. I can try and make the same hit and roll, possibly set up a steal for them.
Doesn't manage to stick around.
Well, mentioned that Skip Ulsrud saying this yellow was out of play, but Czechs aren't looking too sure.
Koukněte na ně ještě. Koukněte na ně a co vy tři řeknete, já budu hrát.
Just sending everyone in to have a look at whether this is in or not. They'll still play a draw anyway.
I don't think so. Going to throw this one away.
Sorry, Sander. I was lost on that one. I thought there were still another couple of stones to come. Well, I think Thomas Ulsrud will probably be a little bit cheeky and put the 6-foot measure on this one. Certainly looks out from the overhead.
Well, lead player Håvard Pettersson's just going to kick that one away.
So, 2 ends played, and we're still waiting for the first score of the game. Norway 0, Czech 0.
først. Hvor har... Okay, well done. Well done. Linja er fin. Yep.
Norway get the third end underway.
Yep. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen.
Czech Republic retaining the last on advantage for the first two ends. Here's Jindrich Kitzberger. Trying to come around this tight guard.
Fine. Jen. Yep. Yep. Místo. 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 8. 8 je dobře. 8 je dobře. 8 je dobře. Oh. Oh.
So a good attempt there by Kitzberger, but doesn't manage to get fully buried. As Sander mentioned, the Norwegians have been calling a pretty balanced game, not taking too many risks this week. You could have seen a lot of teams playing a freeze on that occasion.
I'm a bit surprised seeing Kitzberger play lead, actually, because last year in Moscow he was on just absolutely on fire at second position. Never missed a PO attempt. Back in Russia, just very spot on. It's not too often you'll see a second player move down to lead. I think it's two quite different positions on a team, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Sander playing lead is such a specialised position too. If you do change somebody into that position, they won't usually have practice shots like a tick shot, for example. And often second players are renowned for the big weight takeouts. So again, we have the situation where we have a centre guard up, and it's really a race to make the hit and roll in behind that centre guard.
Yeah, unless someone rolls out and allows a draw. Christopher has played second for many, many years. Was actually alternate player Thomas Løvold's second before he teamed up with Ulsrud back in 2007.
Yeah, and Chris Vaza, an excellent example of your kind of stereotype second player, so good at the big weight and a really strong sweeper. That one just drifts past the tee line. Both teams really reluctant to leave any granite in the house.
Musí se vrátit. Se vrátit. Yep. Yep. Jo, Indro. Yep. 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 Hold oppe. Ligger bra.
Gruyère going for the hit and roll this time. Just misjudged, rolls out the other side. So just while this game of cat and mouse is going on, chasing the one stone around at the back of the 4 foot, we'll have a quick update on what's happening elsewhere, Sander.
Yeah, There's the women's page playoffs going on at the same time. It's Sweden playing Scotland in the 1-2. Sweden scoring 1 in the second end after blanking the first. So 1-0 for Sweden as they play the third end. Denmark plays Russia in the 3-4. Same score. Russia took 1 in the first, however, and blanked the second end.
Thanks for that, Sander. But back on our featured sheet, Norway and Czech Republic on sheet D. Not much action so far, it must be said. Pretty cagey stuff. Sander, you saw more of the Norway-Denmark game yesterday in the page 3-4 game. Was it a convincing performance by the Norwegians?
Yeah, to be totally honest, it was kind of hard to keep track of that game with so many people in the stands.
Were you being a social butterfly?
Yeah.
We'll let you off on that one then, seeing as
to be totally honest, I didn't see too much of the game. I was there, and she was in front of me, but you know, too many friends came over for the games last night, and
you were there in body but not in mind.
Exactly. So, yeah. Only thing I kind of saw was the skips playing really well. Rasmus Stjerne. Remember him playing a triple to come out of one end, forcing Thomas to take the one. And there was basically, I think it was the teams were forced for the first 4 ends. Then we saw a blank and then another couple of forces until Denmark took it to in maybe the 7th or 8th end. So it was a really close game. Rasmus played a tried to play a run-back double to force Norway to the an extra end, but couldn't quite make it. So the Norwegians had an open draw to score 2 and win the game last night. I did see the last end.
Yeah, the Norwegians as well, they have had their difficulties this week. Fighting illness a little bit. Thomas Solskjaer wasn't feeling particularly great when he got here. And Torgen Nørgaard falling sick as well at one point. They flew in Thomas Lovold, expecting to put him on the ice, but then everyone decided they felt okay, and Thomas is now sitting in front of us on the bench, getting to watch some high quality curling.
Yeah, it hasn't been around for the whole week. Oslo only 3 hours away, so I figured that he could stay home and just pop on down with the train if something would happen. told me that he was just going to come here to collect a medal and some cheese and go to the banquet.
Yep. Of course, the European Curling Championship sponsored by Gruyère. Yeah, I think the very least that Team Norway can do for Thomas is to win a medal this week and make the train journey worthwhile. Especially if he's not going to get it on the ice.
I believe that alternate player, Thomas Lövel, also finished his studies this week after a long while. Political science, I believe it would be called. So that was also one of the reasons why he wasn't here for the start of the week. So congratulations to him.
So Czech Republic have made a bit of a bad mistake here in rolling out of the rings. Thomas Olsrud with a chance to come around and really apply some pressure.
So pretty nice draw there by Thomas Olsrud, and the Czechs are going to have a hard time blanking or scoring in this end. I think they're either looking at the tap back to score one, or maybe running this guard down, trying to split the two reds and blank it. What do you like, Logan? Just a tap and score one, or maybe run the guard back and blank it?
I don't think I'm a fan of the run back. I mean, maybe if it was a yellow guard that they were running in, but I think just a kind of little tap back could be the preferred option for me. Just maybe back 4 weight, but with that ice, maybe usually throwing hack weight at it and trying to chip and roll to the wing. Needs to stay in the house though, or it will be the same draw again for Olsrud.
Well, it's the last stone of the end, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Touché, Sander. Maybe you should just call the game today.
Yeah, I think I've done that mistake a couple of times myself. So just gonna run straight by the red here. Snittel, and Norway picks up a steal of 1 here in the third end. So are the Czechs going to panic now?
I don't think they'll panic, Sander. They're only trailing by 1 and they do still have the last on advantage, so I think it's probably a good thing that Norway taking the lead though for the quality of our entertainment. They're going to play a little bit more offensively, the Czech team, to try and get ahead. Quick update here, final stone of the second end, and it was Maria Pritz facing maybe 2 or 3 reds. Yeah, and finds the 4 foot. And the Swedish home support appreciating that one. Lots of the players, friends, family in to watch today.
I've seen Maria Pritz do that a couple of times this week. That's a good thing about having such a quality player as Maria Pritz. You know, you can always take risks, and if it doesn't go too well, you always have that player to draw the forfeit against 3, 4, 5. So nice draw there. Sweden still leading by 1 point. They play the third end. On our game, we'll see Jindrich Kitzberger with the intern draw. I see it. I think maybe all the members of this team with more or less the same slide, not putting any pressure on the broom. Just the way I've seen the Sneethel brothers been playing for many years.
Hitzberger not quite enough running on that one, and just chips the guard. Fud Pedersen playing 82%.
According to the stats, he hasn't had his greatest week, but I think you'll see him up his game here in the playoff stages. Doing well so far. This is just going to slip maybe a foot too far. And now we might just see some action here.
Yeah, with that one just going behind the tee line. It's just crying out for a freeze here from Kitzberger. 70% accuracy so far today.
So just waiting for that one to cut in towards the centre line. Doesn't really do that, so I think Norway will be able to come to the inside here and just flop in behind the guard, try and line two.
Good shot there by Sva, pushes the Yellowstone through, but doesn't quite manage to get tight enough to the guard to make the roll. Akid Baris could hold the key today for the Czech Republic. Only playing 70% so far.
That shot might not improve his stats. Only removes the one red, rolls out. I'm not really sure what the call is here, because he was indicating a guard at first and now kind of tapped the top of the 8 foot.
Yeah, maybe just giving Christopher Sva options. All very much on the same running path, so maybe a tight guard, and if the line's good and it's got a little bit extra running, they can pull it in behind the centre.
Well, line's looking big at the moment, so just wanting this to settle down. Heard the sweepers call this one light, actually. I think maybe if you just let that one go, it might have ended up in a decent spot. Just kind of jumped that one.
Do you think the ice is still a little bit tracky, Sander, maybe?
I'm not really sure. Only thing I heard the Norwegians talk about here is that it's kind of release sensitive. If you put a soft handle on the stones this afternoon, stones might just curl a lot. Doesn't seem to be too tracky, really. I haven't seen any big misses on draws yet. We did see earlier in the week, just like Nicholas Edin coming up 12 foot short on a draw. You know, it's not really going to happen if the ice is perfect. But looking pretty good now. Been looking pretty good for a couple of days actually. Seems to have settled. Ice maker Hans Wotrich has apparently had a couple of problems with the venue here, and certainly the man to make the best ice anywhere. Obviously, Löfberg Lilla Arena is built for hockey, not curling, so
So a tricky spot here for Czech Republic. They are lying short stone, but to be honest, the way all the stones are sitting, doesn't look like an obvious shot to be called.
They're going to call a tricky shot here. Looking for a freeze on the back red.
Yeah, not a lot of margin for error here. Wouldn't mind seeing them playing the hit on the other side of the house and lying first and third. But by doing that, they're kind of relying on Norway not making the hit and roll behind the guard.
Yep.
So kind of need to be heavy, if anything, here. A little tap wouldn't be too bad. That's a bit too much. I wonder if Norway could play on double here. Well,
I think with the way these guys can throw, Sander, they can make both these yellows go away. They'll probably lose the red at the back of the 8 foot, but I'm pretty sure that it'll spin out.
Yeah, we'll probably lose the shooter as well. So double is on here for third Torger Nergård, but we'll leave a draw for the Czechs. So looking wide here. I couldn't quite make that one.
A bit wayward there from the Norwegian third, and a great chance now for the Czechs. Just need to be careful with the placement of this stone. Don't want to leave a half stone double.
Čistě. Směr fajn, čistě. Jup. Hard. Snel.
Looks like he's got a good line here. Curls so hard in from the hog line. That's a super draw by Martin Sneedtail.
Ser ikke bra ut. Her enten vi kan gi bort 2. Klassisk toer. Man kan jo dra på en til. Det blir ikke bra det. Hvis du piler av den, så drar du på en til. Ja, vi må det. Ja, vi har ikke noe.
So Sander, what was the discussion there?
They could peel the open yellow, but it would allow the Czechs to come around the centre guard again, maybe set up 3. So they've elected to play the fees here.
Do you think Czech Republic would go around the centre guard here, Sander?
I don't think so. I think if they peel that one off, that open one to the right, I think they just might replace it and try and score an easy 2. Not sure if they're going to risk coming around the centre guard, leaving a double, and then having to maybe play a draw against 3 or 4.
I think they need to really consider who they're playing against here. Czech Republic, they don't really like to take lots of risk. And by going around the centre guard, although you do have a chance to score 3 that way, then you are risking setting up a double takeout. So I think this is absolutely the right call for Norway. Some teams may well go around that centre guard, like maybe the Swedes, but you need to know your opposition. Always vocal, Thomas Ulsrud.
It's been pretty vocal this week.
Well, he wasn't so vocal the first couple of days. Trying not to be sick most of the time.
Yeah, you can actually see him play a shot and then just lie down. Before the shot was would reach the end of the sheet. But certainly feeling well now. And I think you'll see him be quite vocal. When this game comes to the closing ends. So as predicted, we'll see the Czechs just replace that yellow. Try and play the freeze here, so it's a bit more difficult for Norway to remove it, but it's going to be pretty open.
So the Czech girls in to cheer the guys on. They lost out in the tiebreaker for the World's Challenge spot to Germany last night. However, they can hold their heads high. They had a terrific victory over the tournament favourite Sweden in their final round robin game to get into that position. And Germany will play at 8 o'clock tonight against the winner of the B group, whoever that could be.
Could be Norway.
Could be Norway. They might not actually have to play if Latvia win, I believe, because Latvia already have their place secured at the World Championships as the host nation. Tom Solfrid hits and sticks around. He's already in a little bit of a nuisance position. Could play the draw, but he has closed the scoring area down a little bit, so you might see a takeout here from Sneedtail. Well, what do I know? He's taking ice for a draw.
Yeah, with that line, I think if it comes out heavy here, you might have that backing of the red.
Med litt miksete.
Just play the draw, so expect him to make this one.
Sander, as the Martin Schneetel's the vice, obviously, for his older brother. How do you call the line for a shot like this? Do you just play the straight freeze, or do you sweep it all the way down for the backhand?
I think you just play normal draw to the forfeit. I don't think you want to think about the backing. You might overthrow it. Certainly the most important thing is to get some information from your sweeper. If you know it's heavy, you might just have to bring it down to that backing, but it's pretty much a forfeit draw on championship ice. Shouldn't be a big problem, and certainly wasn't for the Czech skip.
Yeah, the simplest of deuces in the end for Czech Republic, and after 4 ends played here, things starting to move along nicely. Czech Republic leading Norway by 2 shots to 1.
I think that was exactly the way the Czechs were looking to score there too. Just make it easy. Wasn't going to risk too much in scoring there too, and didn't really in that 4th end.
Tak teda blízko, nebo když spadne dovnitř, jo? Blízko.
You'll actually see the Czechs playing with Norway pads on their brushes.
Yep.
There's always development within equipment and curling as well.
How do you feel about that, Sander? Do you feel a little bit violated as a Norwegian?
No, that's fine. I feel like we have a mental grip on them. There's a wee Norwegian flag on all those pads. There's a Norwegian named Hallgeir Moen, which came up with these new sweeping pads, and supposed to be a lot better. And Norwegians start using them. A lot of teams in the world start using them. So you know, there's room for development.
Trendsetters, pioneers.
Certainly are.
Okay, so maybe we'll get some fireworks in this 5th end. Schneetel throws the centre guard, and Ulsrud throws the corner. See those pads kind of ridged?
Pojď.
Yeah. Even with those pads, couldn't make this draw come into the house. Overvald Pettersson with the outturn draw.
Ulsrud's first instinct there was to go behind the corner. I quite like the draw around the corner in this situation. You're risking Schneetel going around the centres, but even if he does throw around the centres, then you come in and freeze. You're in great shape. You've got one behind the corner, and you've got a stone frozen on the centre line. Okay, but it stays nice and high in the house.
Tohle není úplně špatný, když tak. Nesmí přetočit.
Okay, trying for the raise here. Jakub Barris looks like he's had a bit of a fly at this one. He's going to hit this one too thin. And I think round the corner this time for Team Norway.
Full fart.
Christopher Sva turned
Gå hvis vi kan.
30 this year.
Gå hvis vi kan. Vente litt. Nå er linja kommer seg. Linja
In
kommer
turn
seg.
draw
Gå
around
hvis
the
vi
corner.
kan. OK, bare ringene. Ta hit med den andre til foten min. Ja, vi må gå da fra hjemmen. Ja, hardt! Aldri av da! Hardt, nå går den! Kom igjen! Helt til han stopper! Aldri av! Aldri av! Kom igjen! Kom igjen! Kom igjen! Kom igjen!
You know, actually, a bonus for European teams that do well is that they'll be able to go to the Continental Cup, which I'm guessing is going to be held somewhere in Canada in January, I believe. But in 2 years, just before the Olympics, it's going to be held in Las Vegas for the first time.
And what's the tedious link here, Sander?
I do believe that second player, Christopher, spent his 30th birthday in Las Vegas, so he might be keen on going back there.
And there you have it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be motivated by that. So a nice shot there by Parish. And Christopher Sva will need to play a nice soft weight takeout on this yellow stone at the back of the house to lie to.
Really nice shot there. Rolls to the wing. Norway lying to.
Mye is på dragningen. Jeg trodde du fikk sneppet mer enn Håvard da. Ja, bra. Strøken. Ja, nå får du peppa på meg da.
Czech Republic needing to tread a little bit carefully here. Norway doing a good job of setting this end up. Well, good shot here by Martin Sneetil. He looks like he's come to play today. Nice, some really good shots.
Dobbelen blir for lett ellers. Beste du kan få til er kjapp. Da kan han få en dobbel med rull tilbake. Jeg tror vi må hit. Det er shot selvfølgelig. Der eller hit. Og da kan han runde. Jeg tror vi må runde, vi har ikke noe annet.
So it doesn't want to play the hit on the yellow here, because that might leave a double in roll for the Czechs. They're lying shot at the moment, so just going to come around the center guard here.
Vi har plass hvis den er lang. Begynner å bli tight. Og så, vær med. Japp! Japp! Wow, wow. Nære. Og japp, 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 japp! Japp! Rundt den hjulet der, kom igjen!
Did I pick, Sander?
No, I don't think so. Just was curled a lot.
Was there some sort of miscommunication there, or?
Seemed like the sweepers there, Håvard and Kristoffer, were really on the same page there with the weight call. But kind of had to sweep it a bit for line. Really swung at the end there. Big finish, but did just sneak by that center guard by maybe an inch.
Ale
So
já bych to klidně hrál tu 8. Jo.
Czechs will have a chance to make a play on their own yellow here. Run it back onto one of the reds, or both.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Might be able to make the double actually, just sliding by and.
Sorry, my mistake. That was a.
Gets a really good shooter here. Doesn't make the double, but spins up onto the button.
Hår høyt, vanlig. For å sitte. Hår høyt. Jeg vet ikke, jeg vil tippe noe sånt.
Just a constant source of noise, Thomas Ulsrud. But really good, clear communication for his throwers. Here's Torgeir Nørgaard throwing the big weight down here.
I think that's you know, some of the best teams will communicate a lot. You see Nicholas Edin doing that, just constantly offering options to his players and just telling them, okay, if we do this, this is going to happen, or if we do this, this is going to happen. Just kind of explaining it all, keeping all the players just in the game, knowing what to do all the time. So.
I don't think that was a particularly good shot there by Torgeir.
I don't think that was Thomas's fault though. Didn't seem to be a communication problem. Just a bad throw from the third player. And quite the awful result, to be honest. Czechs line 2. It's in behind the T line, but now Snatil can come around the centre. Just to the top of the floor, maybe. Kitzberger and Barris trying to drag this one down, only he gets to the top of the 12.
Not really deep enough for me. Sander needed to be into the 8 foot and gives Ulsrud the chance to draw around that stunt.
If you if you just tuck a piece in behind that top yellow and keep it high, you might get a good angle onto that yellow stone to the left of our picture. Might be difficult for the Czechs to remove it. So maybe just want to bite the forfeit here. Try and hide half of it. Calling it heavy here. So
looking for right on the dolly here, Sander.
We're looking at spiting the forfeit. Well, depending on the line here, that line would have been good if it was just 2 feet higher up in the house. But now Czechs will have a chance to come and freeze down onto that red.
Kousek ubral ten led, Martin. Možná moc.
It wasn't a perfect draw by Thomas Ulsrud, but still enough to ask some questions of Yiji. This one certainly isn't Yiji. Trying to make the weld right onto this stone in the forefoot. Stick it onto the face. Good effort by the sweepers. Can he get into shot? Maybe if Naka Barish hadn't toppled over, then might have made it that a little bit further. Maybe a little bit embarrassed about that one.
Clean tidlig. Og så må jeg prøve å spille. Jeg skal slå av bitte litt, da, eller den forrige var jo da urørt, da. Men hvis vi må gå på den her, så er vi aldri i nærheten. For da kommer jeg aldri til å få buren, ikke sant? Vi må langt stupe inn.
So it looked like Norway was lying 2 there. No, sorry, lying 1. So a draw 2, the 1 foot to score 2. Not much room for him. But I've seen this guy play this type of shot plenty of times before.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty close with this one.
It's all down to the sweepers as well, though. Need to carry this stone down to the tee line.
Need to get pretty tight to that top corner, I think.
Maybe just a bit heavy. Looking pretty close. That's certainly 1 for Norway, but kind of ticked that other red, so might have moved that too far to score 2. Really nice draw, but it's going to be 2 for Norway, so that's a pretty good draw. Didn't even need any sweeping there.
Yeah, dead weight from Thomas Ulsrud and a deadly deuce in the 5th end. 5 ends played in our semi-final matchup, Norway and Czech Republic, and Norway lead by 3 shots to 2. Just next door in the page 1-2, Maria Pritz, final stone of the 4th end. How does this one look? Needs to draw the 4 against a couple of red counters. It will be a score of 1 in the 4th end, and Sweden keep their lead over Scotland, leading by 2 shots to 1.
Men jeg tror på innhandlingen må du passe på take, må du ikke stive av. Fordi du er ikke inne nå, du er litt ute, og så stiver du nå i tillegg. Nei, men du er ute generelt da, på de innhandlingen. Da kører du ikke opp. Ja, er du gæren. Vi har jo... Ja, vi har snakket om det, men Torger er ikke fornøyd, men Håvard håndterer jo den 1-4 drit. Nei, 4-7 dritbra. Ja, han dritbra. 5-eren er glid som bare rakkeren. Den er bak 10 hver gang, for den glir jo. Den går jo som bare rakkeren. Jo, vi har gjort det da. Ja, det har vi prøvd, Ole. Og så er ikke Torger fornøyd med 1-eren, for den meneren viser handel og drar. Men problemet er at vi har hatt kjempelegger 4 siste steinene, og så kanskje ikke treffe da. Sånn på 1-eren så er det jo match da. Ja, men det var jo noen god bak der, så dobler på andre ting. Det er jo, det er jo...
Ja, ja, men vi må passe på, vi får ikke, det er begrenset hvor mange vi får da. Så vi må, ja. Ja, 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 ja. Ja da, vi må prøve, ja, vi må prøve å backe Torge bare, få han til å treffe en stein, så går dette jævlig mye. Ja, går dette, ja, så vi gjør det, vi prøver det så godt vi kan. Det er ikke alltid vi biter i oss. Får litt sånn, det er greit, vi prøver så godt vi kan. Ja. Nei. Vi må... Ja, det vet vi. Så er ferdig, så sitter vi med 2.
Står til Thomas.
Det er...
Står det bra til?
Neida.
Hæ? Gjør ingenting?
Vi ordner det, vi får leger her. Det er bare å male på. Male på. Overkøller dem. Ja, mener det. Ja, hvor er de der barene da? Ja. Third base, save.
Sežereme jako bravo, ale vystrkuje růžky z ošatky. Pojďme, začíná hezky ten end.
Gutter, Håvard, hvis du sikter her, siden det er sjette, så koster guttene hit.
So I'm going to take a look at Eve Muirhead with her last stone of the 5th end, playing Sweden in the 1-2 page playoffs. Just next to our featured game. It's a nose hit to score 2, I believe.
Ja, nå kan vi gå. Den er aldri bak 10. Full 8 hvis vi klarer. Ja, ja, ja. Og spiller var.
Well, hopefully Eve Muirhead can give the Scottish fans something to cheer about this weekend.
Just confirming that was a score of 2 for the Scottish. They lead the game 3 shots to 2 after 5 ends. We're in the Løfberg-Lilla Arena for the Gruyère Curling Championships, European Curling Championships. And this is the semi-final between Norway and the Czech Republic. The winner goes to the final and plays Sweden. The loser will play Denmark in the bronze final.
Yep, and you're listening to Sander Rovog and Logan Gray calling the shots for you this afternoon in a very tactical first half, quite defensive, but I think both teams starting to loosen up a little bit here, Sander.
It might just be a bit of an open end here, though, after that second stone of Håvard Pettersson slipped into the rings. A super shot by Jindrich Kitzberger. Only removes the one red, but makes a perfect roll in behind the corner. Now, those yellows are pretty close together, though, so you might see second player Kristoffer Swap play the run back and maybe even roll a bit towards the center. 76% for him through 5 ends, not the biggest numbers we've seen from him. but decent enough.
Bra spill, altså.
Removes the yellow here, but leaves a couple of corner guards in play. I think you'll see the Czechs just ignore that redstone.
Yeah, we've got a little side profile there of a real curling athlete.
Okay. Stop. Vydrž, jenom čistě. Chci hodně točit. Každý zabere.
Going around the corner here.
Jo, Matěj, pojď. Hodně místa,
This is
klidně
what
dozadu.
Czech Republic didn't do a great job of yesterday.
Pojď hard.
Kind of ignoring the shot stone and going around the corners.
This yellow is going to be pretty open though.
Veldig fint å sitte her, da.
Couldn't quite find enough cover. And when Skip Ulsrud just bumps his hip with his right hand, that means a bumper weight, barrier weight. Just or a controlled weight. Can hold a line with the sweeping. So maybe just a bit harder than called for, but makes the shot.
Skinny double.
Skinny double. Dílky mu tam lítají tak jakože.
Jeg tror nesten det. T-line der.
So 59% for Torgeir Nergård.
Hvis vi kan, det T-line vi sikter på.
Would you say that those are accurate numbers, Logan?
Ja, køle så mye som mulig.
Well, there must be. But that one's maybe going to drift a little bit too deep into the house. Did that call, Sander, drawing the open side?
Yeah, you could probably peel off the corner guards, but there was a risk there of running the yellow onto your back red, so it's just going to make it difficult for the Czechs to utilize the corner guard. I don't think you'll see them ignoring two reds here. 81% for Martin Sneetel. It's a lot better.
Yeah, he's had a good game. He's made some nice soft weight takeouts round guards, and when he's had to play a draw, he's put it in the right spots. So do you think we're going to see a blank end here, Sander?
Well, all depends. If the Czechs could make a roll in behind the corner guard, I think we'll see a score.
Når det blir glattere og det er noe polert, så blir det egenskapene.
Moment, Rich! Rich!
Du har vår beste roser.
Ned!
Du har vår beste roser. Kom igjen, da. Nå drar han. Helt ut, da. Helt ut. Kom igjen!
Needs this one to grip on. And has Nergard done enough? Another one of those ones.
Noe sånt, da.
Not sure if that one's in.
Norwegians think it's out.
They think it's out. Yep. I think they'll try and go a little bit wider this time, a little bit further away from the corner guard.
%, so far for the Norwegian skip, topped off with that beautiful draw for 2 in the 5th. Now just looking to put this one to the right side of the foot as we look at it. T-line would be nice here. It's going to slip a bit too far. Now I think the Czechs are going to try and bail out here, just to play a double. So kind of a flat double here, but they're quite close together, so should be able to be pretty close with this one.
He doesn't throw the biggest hit weight in the world, Yishi. Just need to hit that hair thicker. Touches the second one, it doesn't remove it from play.
Not sure if that was enough weight actually to make it. So, you might see some teams place this at the top of the 12 just to kind of block off the draw path a wee bit. But Thomas wants to just put this to the side of the forfeit. Feels like he's seen Sneatil roll out on nose hits more often than he's seen him miss the draw for the forfeit. That's a pretty nice spot, actually. Never tempted to play the hit here.
No, I don't think so. I think Yishi Sneatil should be able to find the forefoot no problem at all.
I would say the game's pretty much on the line here if we can't make it. Last on of the 6th for the Czech skip. The out-turn draw needs pretty much the forfeit here. Looks like the sweepers are happy with the weight. And no problem for him. Finds the pin. Oh, barely. So after 6, 3 points each for Norway and the Czech Republic.
Han blir en senter, så må vi jo rundt da, så får vi brekke. Hæ? Nei. Tre. Dere vi bare nøy. Center line.
So, being in the 7th end, would you see the team start playing the scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the teams will have to really take a little bit more risk just so they control the scoreboard and give themselves as much chance to win this as possible down the stretch. I think Norway will be keen to blank the 7th end and try and take the hammer into the 8th. So, we'll find out how hard Schneetel wants to push Norway here to score in the 7th.
Hodně místa, jo? Hodně, hodně, hodně. Hodně místa. Jo, musí zmizet. Musí zmizet, Fabe. Musí zmizet. Jo, pokračuj. Pojď. Aj, Marke, pojď.
Kører ikke så mye her over, ok? Yep. Fin linje. Ren. Og en snare. Ja, på rull. Hard på rull. Hard. Egen.
Hek. Yep. Yeah! Oh.
Nice shot there by Jakub Barish.
Du spiller med vann.
hits and sticks around. I'd like to see Czech Republic push quite hard here in the 7th end to try and get the force.
Yep, da kan vi gå.
Maybe they'll get a miss yet.
Hard! Hard på rull!
But the key here is to get Stone in behind those centre guards.
Hard! Hard, 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 hard! Hard! Kom igjen! Hard, hard, hard! Hard!
So a chance for the hit and roll inside.
Heck. Stay no, stay no. Okay, Czyskie. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, yep.
So it's certainly going to roll. Is it going to stick around though? Doesn't want to go out of the house. And just drifts into the dead zone. So what do you do here if you're Thomas Ulsrud?
Well,
Do you peel the guard?
I think so. If you want to stick to your plan, certainly something that you see this team do. Even when they have a chance to score big, they just play the scoreboard. And I'm very certain that I've seen them peel the guard in this situation before.
Well, the only thing I think they'll be worried about if they peel the guard is if Czech Republic draw around that red. That's certainly the shot I would probably play in this situation. So much curl that that would be an option. But I think we're going to find out right here and now whether Norway are going to try and blank this end or score 2.
Well, we did talk about the Norwegians maybe being a bit too cautious. Like that game against France, didn't take any chances and kind of lost out with that.
Yeah, I don't think this is an example of that though, Sander. I think this is rather than them being cautious, it's more them wanting to control the scoreboard, and they know that they've got the hammer in the 8th end. They're probably going to have it in the 10th as well, and in theory should have the last stone and a shot to win the game. So I think that's a smart call from Team Ulsrud, but I think I would expect Yiji Sneetil to try and draw around that red stone at some point.
Sjef, vær klar over at han kan runde det nå. Jeg tror han skal gjøre det nå. Må han det i bakhuet da? Ja, det er greier bare vi to huset. Det er ikke greier det. Hvis han helrunder den, så blir vi presset til en da også.
This is just a perfect situation now for Norway. No guards and a chance to hit and lie too.
Ja, der er bra, tror jeg.
They'll certainly take the deuce if it comes along for free. What was the chat there, Sander?
Don't really know. Kind of spaced out there for a second. Sorry.
More so than usual.
Yeah, I was
Yep, andre, yep.
just looking at Torger's curling shoes. Never see them. If you notice, there's holes underneath the sliding surface of the shoe. It's doing some customizing.
So here's Martin Snatel. Going to just play a control weight takeout here. Surprised that they're not playing the double here, Sander?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Just even if you make this roll, it's going to be really easy for Norway to make the hit, but could have been difficult for them to lie to, but does make the roll. So now it's pretty easy to lie to here for the Norwegians. Now, do you think the Norwegians would mind scoring 2 in the 7th?
No, I think they'll be more than happy to take a 2-shot lead. I think this ends over for the Czech Republic. They just need to make sure they don't give up a deuce now.
Yeah, I think the double's harder now, though.
Yeah, just going to try and slam this one right in the clef. Czech girls team, as I said before. Oh, that's their feet.
Nevím, jestli nehrát ten první na komoru totiž a nezůstat tam stát jako druhej.
And that's Yeji Snatel. Just making the final agreements with Martin Snatel. Just going to try and hit right between these two red stones and make them both go away. Looking a little bit high here. And just hits on the beak. Yes, the nice thing here for Team Norway is that it's not that easy to get into the house off this Yellowstone and not leave a double.
Prostě tam riskovat, že dostane dvojku a zajet někam dolů pod ten jeho.
Vantana!
Tu to půjde. On si, když si teď veme nulu, tak už to začíná být blbý. On si je strašně, že jo, tenhle tým si je brutálně jistý z výhodu. Vidět, jak jako užívá, i když
Just saw an amazing treble by Vicky Adams on the next sheet. We'll try and come back with some scores from that 1-2 page between Scotland and Sweden. But first, it's Norway with their first of 2 skip stones. Looking to remove the yellow and then maybe just push the red one to the side just like that.
That's a super shot there by Thomas Olsrud. Really showing all his experience there. Knew you had to hit that pretty thin to have enough speed to push the red far enough over.
Nei, det var egentlig perfekt fart. Og Jens han hadde rullet perfekt, da. Så det er vi så godt kjempespill. Køling igjen der. Der ute tror jeg det går ekstra. Nå har jeg bare sett deg, da, men
Holder du med frysa? Tetcher egen. Ja.
Okay, so Yuji Snito can't find a hit and roll into the house, and it's all a little bit too easy for Norway here. I don't think Czech Republic have called a particularly bad end, Sander. I think just the shot execution's not been good enough.
Yeah, I think you're right, but had a chance to play a double there just a couple of shots ago. But let's see a draw for two. Open house. Just saw him draw the 1 foot here. The exact same way in the fifth end. He's going to do the same. Draw the pin. Almost dead weight again there from the skip. So it's a score of 5 for Norway, 3 for the Czech Republic after 7 ends. And lead Håvard Pettersson will kick us off in this 8th end.
Just while Håvard Pettersson gets prepared to start the 8th end in our featured game, Maria Pritz with her final stone in the 7th. Actually, final stone in the 6th end, drawing against a bundle of red granite once more.
That's the 3rd time we've seen Maria Pritz having to do that. Yeah. Certainly had something to do with that treble played by McAdams earlier on in the end.
Yeah, some really good force efficiency from Scotland this afternoon in this page 1-2 game. Winner going to the final. Loser will play the winner of Denmark and Russia in the semi-final. And currently Russia leading by 6 shots to 5. Off to a great start in the second half, taking 2 in the 6th end and then stealing 1 in the 7th to take the lead there. But back in our featured game here at the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2012. Czech Republic and Norway going head to head. My name's Logan Gray, and with me I have Sander Rovog doing some translating for us when he's not fascinated by Torger's shoes. Vad Pedersen playing 85%. Sander, you said earlier that he's not maybe been at his best during the round robin, but you know he's going to step it up in the playoffs. Should you not be able to operate at that capacity in every game, Sander?
Yeah, I think so, but you know, it's been a bit tougher for him. He doesn't live in Oslo anymore with the team. Has moved away. I think it's about 4 hours away or so. Has to practice in another rink, usually by himself. Sometimes maybe he brings his wife out to hold the brush for him. And the ice down there tends to be pretty straight. So it's just...
Is that a rink in Arendal?
No, in Kristiansand, which is pretty much all the way south there in Norway.
And Sander, how far is that from Stavanger, where the Europeans will be next year?
I think that would be about 3 hours drive away.
So not that close then. Okay, so Czech Republic look like they're going to mix things up a little bit here in the 8th end. Norway lying 2.
Tjukk halv for å spare dem. Eller halv.
Choosing to peel the one in the house here. They're lying to it at the moment. They could decide to peel the corner guard. Would be a very long time for the Czech Republic to play in the house to score 2.
Yep. Hard. 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 Egen.
Good shot by Chris Fatt. Clean picks that Yellowstone from play.
Jakob Vares,
Yep.
71%
Yep.
through 7 ends.
Yeah, he's just gone a little bit off the boil when hitting the playoff stages, but he's absolutely corked this one. Right in behind the corner guard. Super hit and roll.
Det er ikke krise å rulle ut. Spille vanlig.
Maybe rolled a fraction too far, Sander. Maybe we can come around the outside here.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just needs to be a bit careful. Might hit some fresh pebble out there, but I think we're going to see some weight being thrown
Yep.
by the big second.
Yep. 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 Bra så.
No problem here for Kristoffer Svat. Just peels that one out. No real value in hitting sticking there. It's just going to give something for Czech Republic to draw up against.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing Norway's game plan here is just to avoid the score of 2 here for the Czechs.
Yep. Yep.
If the Czechs take a 1 or blank the end,
Hard.
I think they'll be pretty happy.
Oh. Oh. Elizabeth, ja, kortet. Ja. Já jsem nevěděl, co se stane, jaká je to rychlost. Nic.
A big miss there by Barish. Doesn't even find the paint with that drop.
Det er mulig. Det er fullt mulig. Det er fullt mulig, den der, altså. Tjukk halv, halv til tjukk halv.
Well, Thomas Ulsrud knows what he wants to do here. He wants to peel the guards, but I think it's maybe too much of a risk. You don't know where this Yellowstone's going to go. Could go very close to that back red.
Ja. Halv til tjukk halv, Jørn Torgil. Og du bør ikke gå noe inn, vanlig pil.
Only a 64% for this guy here. That's going to make an absolutely perfect double peel, though. That's going to improve his figures.
Yeah. Sander, that shot wasn't as easy as Torger made that look. Had to hit the second one quite thick not to go into that back red.
Now, obviously, you've been skipping your own team for many years. Is it ever scary to call a big shot from a player that's not maybe performing that well on that special day? Special day.
Was that like your wedding day? Are you saying Torger's not playing well?
Yeah, well, percentages aren't that good, but I wasn't really trying to, yeah.
I think I would be pretty happy to call anything for Torger, regardless of where his confidence is or his form is. He he's obviously a world-class player and makes world-class shots, so you have to believe in your players and know that they're going to make the shots at some stage. And there's the old phrase that form is temporary and class is permanent, and Torgeir Nergård certainly has bags of class. And he showed it with that last shot. Super double peel. So, Czech Republic going for the freeze here. Don't really want to be forced to only score one in the 8th end here. They could just run this end through and take hammer into the 9th.
Yep, fight. Nem más dílkús. Fight. Fight. Fight, 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 fight. Fight, fight, fight.
Hardt kantstein, solid avstand. Tror ikke jeg vil kanskje ligge og force. Det er mer kontroll det. Tenker meg om litt nå. Det er jo aldri feil å force. Men i så fall Nei, men jeg synes hvis vi skal spille på å ligge, så kan du i worst case kan du legge deg igjen her, da, så får du frysen her som er i fengsel, da. Nei, men force, tenk deg force og 1 opp med 1, da. Kan du prøve å blanke 9 og komme deg home, og hvis de blir... Jeg tror det stjerner imot deg 9. Jeg føler at ved å ligge i huset, så øker det på jorden. Han har 2 stein igjen, da. Skal gjøre en perfekt på nesten, da. Ja, jeg synes ja. Da vil jeg bare be litt foran. Ja. Det er ikke krise hvis du bare... Vant! Ja, 15 da, greit.
Could you hear any of the discussion there, Sander?
Yeah, I think just looking at either just blasting these two or making the hit and roll to lie to. Just don't know what the risk is, really. With the hit and roll, you might see the Czechs play the freeze on the red, but certainly has to make it perfect for them to set up score for 2. So I kind of like that hit and roll here. Lie to, you force the Czechs to take a 1 in the 8th end. You're 1 up with hammer. You might even be able to blank the 9th end, and you can come home 1 up with. So I think that's the plan for the Norwegians here. 82% for the Norwegian skip. Has been playing some pretty awesome draws. Let's see if he can make this delicate hit and roll. Well.
Oh, how good's that?
Yeah, that was a different way to do it. So, good line call, I guess, by the skips to make that happen. Couldn't quite get the roll, but was able to take that red one to the wing. They lie to. And the Czechs will just look to play it, hit and roll in front of that second red. So 63% for the Czech skip. Don't think he's had such a bad game, but maybe just playing too many half shots, not getting the stones in the perfect spot like here. Just couldn't make the perfect roll, but it's going to force Norway to play the hit. It's not too awful for the Norwegians if the Czechs blank here either, really. You see a mix of people up in the stands.
Yeah, mainly Norwegian and Swedish fans in there, I would think.
And one Spanish guy. There was actually a couple Spanish people there. Spain plays in the B group. Couldn't quite make it close to the playoff stages this week. Picked up 3 wins though and keeps their spot in the B group, as we now have a C group. So many nations now have started to play curling. We have don't know how many associations we have in Europe now. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say maybe 30, 37.
Yeah, maybe around 30 to 35, I would say. Around there. Yeah, we've got a C group as well. Just started in the last couple of years. So a mistake there in our featured game here in the A group. Thomas Hulshood hitting and rolling out and giving Iji the chance to hit and roll out here. Looks like he's found a nice line here.
Well, I don't think the Norwegians are going to be too upset. You know, they lead by 2, and they're going to have a nice chance to force the Czechs to take a 1 in the 9th. So I think that's what you'll see the Norwegians doing. Just, might even put up a center guard here to force that issue.
Ligger fin. Foreløpig snepper vi linje om noe. Ja, 7 bra. Ikke noe mer.
Did you ever consider putting up a center guard here to it's a kind of forced issue of forcing the Czechs to take the 1?
No, Sander, no. They don't really need to. Czech Republic are always going to throw the corner guard, and that's just another stone that the Czech team can draw behind. So you can throw 1 top 4 and then put a good tight guard on it, and that's something that the Czech Republic are going to have to deal with later on.
Would it be more tempting if they were only leading the game by 1 point?
Yes, I would, because I would think that the Czech team will probably want to blank the end in that circumstance. So in that situation, then you definitely need to throw a centre guard. So 2-shot game though. Howard Vod Pedersen just drifting beyond the tee line.
Ligger bra. Full 8. Wow, hvis vi kan. Kjølig hvis vi kan. Nå er vi på toppen av buen. Nå kan vi gå. Nå kan vi gå. Full 8 da. Med bite 4. Kom igjen. Kom igjen, dra av senter. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Bra spill. Bra spill. Bra skjøtt, gutter. Vi går på nå. Zadní krok.
Dobrý směr. Blbej úhel. Blbej úhel. Blbej úhel.
So it doesn't quite find the line here, but let's move those reds into a nice spot, frozen onto each other, just behind the teal line there.
Kom igjen, da! Vanlig take, kjapp! Wow!
So just looking for a nose hit here. Looking pretty good.
Sunout. Nezůstat na něm sedět. Jo. Ja.
Er det mulig å få noe hjelpbytte der, Vestpå? Siste dragning, få en av dere da, eller?
Zatím. Si točit. Si točit. Blbej úhel úplně. Lepší, jop. Jop, wow. Musí dotočit ještě. Wow, musí dotočit. Jo, Martine, jop. Pojď. Sorry.
Ja, spill den sånn. Om den skulle ryke, så er det helt greit. Men den veien du må rulle. Du ruller sånn. Hæ? Hei. Sånn. Torgil. Sånn. Da er det masse luft, jo. Ja, men her så sklir hun her ved siden av, ikke sant? Det blir jo ikke bra. Jeg kan spille den, da. Nei, men du kan hvis du... Ja. Du må spille den først, da, hvis du vil. Ja. Nå er det at det beste hadde vært den. Hvis du ikke får til det, kan vi godt spille sånn som er greit.
Just taking some time here to discuss what stone they would like to hit first and what way they would like to play this. Seems like Skips has gotten the last word here. Want to come pretty close to the corner guard. Don't want to sit around here, want to roll out. Well, it doesn't quite roll all the way out, but I think it's good enough there.
Jeg mener den her sitter helt ok, skjønner du? Det jeg var redd for den lå litt lavere. Så slo du på den, og så via den rød, og så spinner litt ned. Ja, spinner litt ned. Ja.
I quite like a nose hit here, Sander. If you can tap both of those reds and get one sitting right on the beak, that could be difficult to remove for Norway. This is also a good call. So looks like maybe a freeze or a tap again. Okay, so maybe just a back 8 weight here for Jakub Baris.
Yep.
Looks like it might over curl a little bit, so using the brushes just to hold it straight. And a super shot there by Jakub Baris. I'm just going to peel this one out.
Don't think they'll be too upset if they remove a couple of reds as well here. Really, the more stones in the house here, the more problems there could be for the Norwegians.
Yeah, Torger just changing his ammunition there. Changing stone. Queen picks it. I think round the corners maybe the shot this time. The one before, I think I would have liked them to play a little bit more weight at it, to be honest, Sander, and get another red out of the 8 foot, so they've got more of a chance to bring that corner guard into play, or put a stone round behind it, and then there's less red granite to get moving. Martin Schnittel, very focused. Looks pretty close. And maybe even lost that a little bit at the end. Just losing the angle.
Vi tåler å rive med oss alt da, da får du en dit, det greit det. Hadde vært fint med... Jeg enig, det ikke noe vits. Han må gjøre perfekt hvis du ryker. Vanlig pil.
So the ideal thing here would be the nose hit, but I don't think they're going to risk it. Most important thing really is to get this yellow one running. So just might look to blast it all here. Maybe just a clean pick, more or less.
Yeah, great shot there by Torger, but now the corner guard very much in play for the Czech Republic.
Litt verre for noe fortsatt. Litt hold her ute. Fin pil, det altså. Skal bare ha zucca, så jævlig... Du skal ha... Skal ikke ha mye ispinn.
Trošku vevnitř, jak jsme na tom? Málo místa. Jop, jop.
Super draw by Martin Schnittel. I think Oshwood may well have to try and play a freeze here.
Yeah, maybe even just tap this one 2 inches to make sure they're lying to. Not really sure what stone is closer here, the yellow one or the red one in the 8 foot. So just maybe. Maybe just want to bounce this yellow one a wee bit, but most importantly, looking for the freeze shot here.
So this is the key shot in the 9th end for Norway. Needs to lock this on round the corner. See Stone will hang that centre line for quite a long time, and then when it starts to peel off, it'll really curl hard from the hog line in. This one all down to the sweeper Julie. Just bounces off, but good enough to lie to. So a nice shot there by Thomas Wilsrud.
Ja, bra lyd. Holder den i hvert fall på jobben nå.
Backline.
It's going to be pretty hard to bring that yellow one into play.
Big sweep here by Barish, and Kitzberger just chips the guard and wiggles its way towards the button.
Her har shooteren nødt til å rulle ut. Han er teoretisk at den stikker der, den går der. Da er den bedre. Skal vi ikke dra?
Well, as things set, I don't think Czech Republic really have a shot for two. They could play the pick double, but that's all. So
I think if you just remove the top yellow, it's going to be really difficult for the Czechs to score more than one.
I don't think they need to move that stone sander because that's blocking the draw. Maybe if they just put something on the other side of the centre line, then it would be pretty useful.
They are discussing that option, but it's just obviously I think removing the yellow is the easier shot.
Yeah, it certainly would be a disaster if they overcurled and pushed the yellow in.
For me, I would just remove the yellow and give the Czechs a draw for one. I'm going to be pretty happy lying one up with a hammer coming home.
Yeah, there's the Swedish crowd there. Some of the students from the Curling Academy in Härnösand. Fredrik Lindberg as well up the left. Game over in the women's page game. Scotland have defeated Sweden. And the Scottish fans getting something to cheer about. A huge score in the 4th end. Sorry, in the 8th end. Giving a decisive margin to the Scots, and then a steal of 2 in the 9th to give them a 9-3 victory over Sweden, and they will go to the final. Sweden get another chance, and they will play in the semi-final against the winner of Russia and Denmark. 6 each there, and Russia have the last stone. Here's Thomas Wilsrud in the men's semi-final. Doesn't want to go any further than top 4 here. I'll be disappointed with that one. Should be a straightforward nose hit for Yiji.
Maybe a foot too far. But again, if that was top of the 12, there's going to be a slash double for a score of 2 for the Czechs. So certainly needed to make sure he was going to out-count the 2 yellow ones. A nose hit for Sneetil. Might want to roll a wee bit towards the centre line just to make sure doesn't jam at the back of the 4 there. So 2 down, looking to score 1 with a soft control, take out weight.
Having to go hard with the brushes here.
Yeah, starting to overcurl, but good enough to score 1.
Yeah, really nice weight there actually from Jiří Sneetil. And it's a score of 1 for the Czech Republic. Norway really in full command of this game, but only leading by 1 shot. 9 ends played here, and Norway leading Czech Republic by 5 shots to 4.
Som er morsomt, at vi er i hvert fall i nærheten av å dra på. Så hvis vi får 4 fot å dra på her, 4,5 fot å dra på, så tror jeg vi er ganske sikre.
Heinrich Kitzberger gets the 10th end underway, the last end of normal time. And some Swedish fans hanging around to see the conclusion of this 1 o'clock draw. They won't be too concerned that their team lost today. They got another chance. One of the benefits of having a really good round robin and finishing high is you get just an extra opportunity to find your way to the final. Whereas the 3rd and 4th place teams have to work a little bit harder, winning 2 games. So maybe the Swedish fans' attention will switch to our featured game, Håvard Vad Pedersen. Norway leading Czech Republic by 5 shots to 4 here, and this is Håvard Vad Pedersen playing the tech shot. One of the best in the game at this one, Sander.
Not looking too happy with it though. Does move it. That's going to help a lot.
Sander, there's a variety of ways to play the tech shot. How would you go about it? Do you prefer curling into the side of the stone or going across the face? What weight do you throw to really maximise your chances of playing that tech shot? Because obviously you can't remove the guard from play.
I like throwing it just straight at it, but
just put the brush in the middle of the stone and see what happens.
Peel weight, tick it. I think you get the best result if you just kind of play it towards it, not across the face of it. But across the face of it seems to be preferred option for this team. It's maybe the easier way to do it. I don't know. Just kind of ride the line a bit. Use the center line to kind of help out the line call.
I think a lot of it's got to be down to the player's preference as well, Sander. They need to be confident in the shot and how it's being called. And I know, like for example, that my lead prefers going into the stone, and we always play it on one handle rather than the other. So I'm not going to tell you which one, just in case you use it against me one day. We always play it the same way. And looks like, oh, this one's looking really good. Oh, 2 super tech shots by Håvard Vad Pedersen. This is Ulla Ingvaldsen, the national coach for Norway.
Now, how important are those tech shots for this end?
It just makes the end so much easier for Norway. Sander just opens up the centre of play and just makes the scoring zone so much bigger for Thomas Ulsrud in his last stone. There's a little bit of shrapnel lying around the side of the sheet though, so that could make peeling the guards a little more complicated.
Yeah, seems like that corner guard, or that yellow guard to the left there, might block off the out-turn draw. So if they get the chance, I think they'll like to move that as well. But for now, I think they're just looking at peeling the single. Maybe try and get the one in the house.
Oh, mistake by Svat, but again, centre line still open.
I'd say that was a missed line call. Didn't really sweep that one until the very end, so I could have easily held it. So not always down to the player to make the shot. Seemed like they were maybe throwing a tricky stone there, sending number 7. Maybe just curled a bit crazy and just caught them off guard. So not very ideal for Norway here with those two corner guards really blocking off both the out turn and the turn draw. Might actually prove difficult for the Czechs to come around the center guard if they can keep one. Well, if we continue to see this happening, the Czechs just put up the center guard, the Norwegian guys just peeling it off. You might see the Czechs come around one of the corner guards in the end, lying 2. Could potentially win the game that way. Only down by 1.
Fine. Fine. Směr je stejný jako v Fabu. Hráč je vevnitř.
So pretty tight to the house here. It's going to make it very difficult for third Torgeir Nergård to slash both yellows, but could still be there for him. Needs to catch the cigar quite thin to make it.
Yeah, just sneaks the shooter out of play. Martin Snatil again throwing the centre guard.
Consistent guard play from the Czechs, not making any mistakes. Now Norway may be very close to making a double. Just unlucky.
So what do you do now, Sander? It doesn't look like Yuri Snatil's going to be able to get a centre guard.
Hjelper det også?
Any ideas?
Og ikke inn på knappen den gangen der. Det var så litt svårt å få.
I'm thinking.
I think centre guard's still the shot in this spot. Maybe if they didn't have anything in the house, they could consider coming around the guard and trying to force them to score 2, but sorry, to face 2. So what they're going to do is going to throw up a centre guard, and then with the next one they'll throw in. And depending on whether they want Ulsrud to play a hit or a draw, then that might determine where they're going to put their last stone. So important to try and put this in a spot where it's going to minimise the chance of them making a double peel, putting this yellow onto the one in the house and rolling out. I think they'll be keen to force Ulsrud to face 2 with his last. Big effort required here by Kitzberger and Barish. Oh dear. Great effort, but
Gjør ingenting der. Spiller en elver is midt på stein. Ja. Ja, det hvis han bryr seg om den over, så det positivt for oss. Ja, vi må ikke titte på det, så like siden av Thomas. Ja, vi skal dra.
Okay, so
Vi skal dra uansett, vi altså.
Just going to hit the one in the house here. I fancy. There's the Czech bench, Marek Vidra on the right, Ellery Robichaud in the middle, and Dan Raphael on the left. Bring in some Canadians to bolster the squad. So nothing delicate about this one from Thomas Ulsrud. Hits and rolls out of the rings. Doesn't want to complicate anything too much, and doesn't need to score here, should be said as well. Just needs to basically get this final Yellowstone out of the house from Yiji. And there once again. I think they know there's a very good chance they're going to go out of the European Championships. Still chasing that elusive first medal at international level. There's Niklas Edin. He'll be watching with great interest to see who's going to play against tomorrow. Maybe pick up a couple of tips, strengths and weaknesses that you can apply to the game plan for the final tomorrow. Important that Yuri Snitil manages to hide this Yellowstone, or it will just be a open takeout for Ulsrud. I think they'll be able to see a lot of this stone from the hack, so should just be a takeout really. I think they'll just be looking for a kind of controlled weight here, Sander.
Yeah, just a hack bumper weight, trying to control the line with the sweeping.
So could this be the final stone of our featured game? Men's semi-final winner going into the final to play against the home country, Sweden. Niklas Edin watching on. So final stone of the 10th end, Thomas Ulsrud to try and put Norway into the final. Down with the brushes here, and they're going to have to work hard to get this one by. Vad Pedersen and Christopher Sva doing a great job with the brushes, and right down onto the beak. A really well played game by Tom Solsrud and his Norwegian side, and their reward will be a shot in the gold medal game against Sweden.
So there you see it. Norway moving to the gold medal game. Czech Republic will play Denmark in the bronze. So still a chance for them to pick up their first medal. Here we see son of Thomas Ulsrud. Certainly enjoying that win, and his wife. Both come out here to cheer them on as they head into the final. Could be very well 3 titles in a row for Norway. And we will also see that Russia beats Denmark in the 3-4 page, meaning that Denmark is bumped down to the bronze medal game and Russia moves on to play the semi-final, which will be Sweden. Sweden just outplayed by Scotland in the 1-2 page, so whoever wins between Russia and Sweden will play the final against Eve Muirhead of Scotland.
So Thomas, you're into the final of the European Championships, third year in a row. Can you do it?
I certainly hope so. I think the boys are getting pumped, and I'm looking forward to playing Nicholas in front of his home crowd. So yeah.
What was your game plan against the Czech Republic today?
We didn't have hammers, so we just tried to switch the hammer around before the break. But it was a tight game before the break, and we were lucky enough in the second end of the game to get a bit of a head, get 2 points up. You know, and we could sort of like control the game from there. But it was a tight game.
Was there a point in the game that you really felt that you took control and were going to win for sure?
Probably we took 2 in 7 and 2 in 5th. That was the big turning points for us. So yeah, probably these 2 ends. Yeah.
Okay, and on to the final. You're obviously really good friends with Nicholas and the guys. Does that apply any more pressure to the situation or less?
I think, as my lead Howard said, I have enough European titles, but I just want to see how much you want it, so I'm going to show up for play.
Well done, and good luck in the final.
Thank you.